Like run for school!
Hello and welcome to YCFT. This is the first video we recorded of the new year.
It is.
It is.
Happy
It's
New
a
Year.
happy New Year, even though we said Happy New Year in previous releases that were recorded last year. It's also our first Scooby-Doo of the year.
Yeah.
Slight disclaimer here. You've not been very well.
No, I have been a little bit poorly these last few weeks, so apologies for the sniffles and the way I sound. This is actually better than what it's been the last week.
We pushed this back as much as we could. I think we pushed it back by a whole week, but with our work schedules, we knew we had to get something recorded today, otherwise we'd just miss. So we're going to try our best.
I'll resume to normal in a few weeks.
Yeah. So we are talking about a Scooby-Doo film that came out 20 years ago.
Yes, exactly 20 years ago, actually.
Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster.
Uh-huh.
You'd seen this one before. This was the first time for me.
Yeah, I'd really wanted you to watch this one for a long time.
Its main appeal to me is the setting. I don't think it's the first time the gang's been to Scotland.
Apparently
or even
not,
Loch
no.
Ness. I think they might have been like 72, I want to say.
It's been a while then.
It's been a while. Am I right in saying, was this the first of the What's New Scooby-Doo movies?
It was, yes.
So I think there was 7 of those.
Yes, it was. It's the second film to have Grey Delisle returning as Daphne. Grey Delisle or Grey Delisle, I never know how you fully pronounce her name. So she returns for the first time after Cyberchase. It's also the first film to have Mindy Cohn as Velma.
In regards to characterization of Velma, it was nice to go back to a more normal Velma. And what I mean, I'm not talking about like Trick or Treat where Velma came out. We're actually not seeing that one yet. It's on our list.
No.
We're talking about the last 2 that we've watched. Obviously on the channel we did Return to Zombie Island, and we've recently watched Curse of the 13th Ghost, because we're going to do something with the TV series and that movie. I can't remember the name of the actress. I don't think it's her fault. I think the voice is fine. It's the characterization in those 2 films. She's really like neurotic and cannot accept the stranger situations and things like making the events of the original Zombie Island and unsolved mysteries because she can't accept the supernatural. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like that version.
Yeah.
It's almost like when she's dealt with things that don't make sense, she physically cannot handle it.
Yeah.
Whereas in this film, we've gone back to a Velma where, strangely, she actually kind of believes in the Loch Ness Monster. Not fully, but says, like, oh, there's actually more evidence that it's real than isn't real.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, open-minded Velma. She will always inevitably try and go for a scientific outcome.
Yeah.
But she is very open to other possibilities, and it was nice to go back to that.
Legend of the Loch? Get real. It's just another big fake. Right, Velma?
I'm not so sure about that. Jeepers. You believe in the Loch Ness Monster, Velma?
Back to that. A return to form for Velma. Yeah, like Return to Zombie Island especially. It was like a major arc for her in that movie. How she kind of supports or like discounts facts to support her own like scientific conclusions. Just willfully ignores like any facts concerning the supernatural or the paranormal because she's so, I don't know, like it is borderline neurotic, I think. It's just how steadfast like everything has to be, you know, everything has to come to a scientific conclusion and ghosts don't exist and we were all paranoid when we were on Zombie Island. That just didn't happen. It was like some weird like fever dream or something.
Yeah.
And it was just weird. So yeah, like rewind back 20 years ago, it was actually quite nice to see Velma reading a book about the Loch Ness Monster and being like, actually, you know, like sightings go back thousands of years.
Open to the possibility.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. I like that, Velma.
That was nice. We've also not watched Velma, the TV series, have we? I think enough people did videos on it that we know, like, just
we haven't.
Not to bother. So that was nice. Frank Welker also returns as Fred.
Yeah.
And he's Scooby in this one.
Oh yeah, he's very good Scooby.
He is a very good Scooby. And Casey Kasem is back as Shaggy. A great cast for this one. I really like all of the characters. The way the characters portray in this one, I really like. I like the setting. So they're going to Scotland for some Highland games at Blake Castle. And this is the first time that establishes that Daphne's family is Scottish.
Yeah.
And apparently
And also fucking minted.
they're minted. Yeah, they literally live in a castle. And apparently it's in their genes that they would get captured.
Ours is a rich history of falling through trapdoors, finding dangerous secret passageways, and getting caught in overly complicated booby traps of our own design. Danger prone. What?
Stunning
architecture. Love the gargoyle.
And stuff like that. I kind of like that.
I do as well, yeah. Shannon is her cousin.
Shannon, yeah.
Shannon Blake. I will say there are some truly terrible Scottish accents in this one.
Truly terrible.
They're bad.
Now the Blakes can finally be known for something besides getting themselves into trouble, eh, Shannon?
I just hope we can survive the embarrassment should you be our winning contestant, Angus Haggart.
But I kind of loved it.
It's
anyway.
great.
The Loch Ness Monster keeps attacking these games for whatever
Yes.
reason. And we're talking big monster.
Yes.
Big monster, this one. I did have a lot of fun with this.
Oh, it's a fun little ride. I'm really happy that you enjoyed it.
I did. Like, the animation on the monster was interesting because it's slightly different to all the background animation. It's
Yeah.
slightly more of a 3D.
It is more of a
So it kind of
3D
makes it feel a
quality.
bit more monstrous, a bit more almost alien,
Yeah.
to be honest. So that was a lot of fun. Like I said, Scotland as a setting is just, even a little bit of fun, it's very unique compared to the other movies that have been.
Yeah. I agree. I think this is why I've always had really fond memories of this one, especially because it's classic Scooby-Doo in terms of the setting. It's an old spooky, derelict castle, and obviously you get to see Scotland, and Scotland is just it's a delight to see in any kind of form on the screen. But it feels like it's more of a throwback to like classic Scooby-Doo. Just in terms of the setting alone. So I've always had like a fondness for it too. Always been interested in the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah. I also like they do throw in a bit more of that. Again, that What's New Scooby-Doo, I think, was more, the world had like more gadgets and more machine-based things. Let's be fair, if it's a giant monster, it's got to be some type of machine.
Yeah.
They go down in a submarine to go tunnels. Because again, that's a theory, isn't it? That why has Loch Ness Monster been found? Oh, there's tunnels, like hidden
There's tunnels
caves
in the
underneath the
yeah.
loch.
I also like how there's a fun cast of characters, all of whom potentially are suspicious in their own way. Should I just quickly go through?
I just want to say, I got it.
You did, actually.
Absolutely predicted it.
You actually did. Fair play. So we've got Shannon, who is Daphne's cousin, who right away is, you rule her out as a suspect.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a criminal in the Blake clan. But we have Del Chilman, who is basically an American kind of stoner guy. He's obsessed with Nessie, cryptozoologist, I think is what they call it, obsessed with cryptids and whatnot. He's got his own version of a mystery machine.
Yeah, the Loch Ness Monster Machine or something like that. I like him. I think he was a lot of fun.
Fiona Pembroke, who is a staunch Nessie.
I'm so
believer.
sorry to any Scottish viewers who had to listen to that.
Oh, it says the man who sang Min Dog in our Dead Snow video. Yeah, sure. Apologies, Scotland. Fiona Pembroke, who is she's a scientist, but she adamantly believes in Nessie, and she's published a book on Nessie in the past, which Velma actually holds very dear, and she's a fan of Pembroke's
I like how
work.
Velma points out that it basically ruined her scientific credibility.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you still believe in her, and you're still here looking for her, even though it totally destroyed your reputation in the scientific era.
I read that you're still trying to prove the monster exists, even though it has destroyed your career, demolished your scientific credibility, and devastated you financially.
Yeah, and we've got Ian Loxley, who is a judge in the Highland Games. He has kind of a feud with Pembroke because
He runs a museum, doesn't he?
He runs a museum, but unlike Pembroke, he absolutely does not believe in the Loch Ness Monster, and he thinks that it's a hindrance to the area. And we also have a couple of others. We've got Colin, we've got Angus, and we've got Lachlan, who are two sons, and their dad, who are kind of locals to the area and cause a little bit of bother with the pranks that they like to pull with the locals. A little bit of ruckus.
More suspects than we usually get.
Yeah, there's a fun kind of cast of characters that we've got.
I gotta say, this film wasted one incredible opportunity. So at one point, Scooby and Shaggy do slide down. I think it's when they're in a boat, the Loch Ness Monster's neck and tail and come off. All right, it's Hanna-Barbera. Why did they not say Yabba Dabba Doo or something? It's got do in it. Come on. It really bothered me.
They all made crime against this film.
Someone must have thought about it when they were animating
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it's close enough. And it's come on, even something.
So just a little nod.
I also really enjoyed the haggis joke.
Oh yeah, it's a one food apparently that Scooby and Shaggy just won't eat. They'll just point blank refuse.
I just want to say it's I have had haggis.
I've never had it.
It's very nice, but at the same time, I didn't know what it was. when I ate it. I think if I'd known beforehand, I probably wouldn't. But because I enjoyed it, it's like I'm more open to having it again. But it's not something I could have every weekend.
It's kind of like black pudding, isn't it?
It's weirdly spicy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I've never had it. But yeah, black pudding is one of those foods as well. It's like really delicious, really tasty, but then you'd rather not know what actually goes into it.
Yeah.
It's basically blood.
The Loch Ness Monster is basically just a massive dinosaur, and this causes a lot of property damage. Now, watching this as an adult,
Yeah, that's...
the ending, no one really goes down for it.
No, I think we have to reveal who it is.
Yeah, do you want to reveal?
Okay, so we have a couple of culprits in this one.
This is how weird it is that I go, right, I said, right, it's either this person or it's those two.
So
And it was both of them.
it was both of them.
Got it right.
We have one half of the person behind the mask is the brothers. We've got Colin and we've got Angus, the pranksters in the town, who basically are under the employ of Fiona Pembroke.
To be fair, they're not malicious in any way. They just think it's a great prank.
Yeah, so Pembroke has obviously gone to the boys and she said, look, I need a little bit of help pulling off this really like colossal stunt. I think you guys are the two for the job. And they've clearly just been like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's more her plan.
Yeah, because she has new photos of the real Nessie
Yes.
that no one in the scientific community will look at. And
Because their reputation
what's
is tarnished.
the rich guy called again?
Oh, Loxley. Ian Loxley.
He will not give her the time of day to see it, and that's basically what this all is to try and legitimize her research.
Yeah. We'll fake Nessie so people can start believing in her again.
I just want to say how ridiculous it is. So she lives on like a little boat.
Yes,
and apparently because there's two different Nessie machines.
Yeah.
I think there's a land one and there's a sea one.
Yeah.
Hers is literally underneath her boat.
Yeah, I know.
She goes through a trapdoor and it's pedal powered.
Like, considering it's like the size of like a fucking 12-story building as well.
It's
ridiculous to think that little Fiona is just there cycling. I know. But hey, Scooby-Doo.
Hey-ho.
Hey-ho.
I also said, watching this as an adult, considering no one goes down for it, because they kind of do just like,
yeah.
Oh, bygones be bygones. Oh, these are great photos. And I'm like, whoa. All right. People nearly died here.
Yes.
There was also property damage done to the castle, because one of the Nessies actually destroyed a whole
turret.
A whole turret and a bridge. You know, that's a landmark.
Yeah.
Coming from the UK, that's heritage.
That is
you can't change this stuff.
You go to jail for that.
You have to maintain it.
Yeah.
I know we're looking into a Scooby-Doo movie, but I'm watching this like...
But it was like...
There's so much property damage.
I know. It was instinctively our reaction at the same time. It was like, wait, what? Like, there's no comeuppance for this.
There's no police.
This is the difference watching Scooby-Doo as a kid, watching it as an adult.
Yeah.
You're like, you're going to go down for that.
There are so many times where the Loch Ness Monster, whoever was pilot, has actively almost killed Shaggy and Scooby.
Oh, yeah. Well, that whole sequence where Fred and everyone, they're down in the submersible in the submarine in the loch, and there's like a very intense chase where Nessie is like almost vertically just like chasing them straight up to the top, and it's touch and go for a little while. Like,
yeah,
that shit is very dangerous.
Very, very dangerous.
So like attempted murder,
but
I don't know.
In the world of Scooby-Doo, there always has to be a happy ending.
Yes.
And you always have to have that reveal of maybe the monster's real. They get a hint at the real Nessie. So for me, it was quite a predictable Scooby-Doo film, but I still just had a thoroughly good time watching it.
Yeah.
With the setting, with the awful Scottish accents.
It is part of it.
And the insane property damage bill that must have come to somebody, arrive at somebody.
They've got to, something has to happen there. Something. It's just yeah. I can't forgive it, obviously. It's a Scooby-Doo movie, but...
Yeah.
I was like, wait, not even the two boys are like going to go down for this?
It's definitely one of those films, like a lot of Scooby-Doo films, you can just kind of turn your brain off and just enjoy.
Yeah.
And I did really, really enjoy this one, because I think it's like the second one after the initial, four of like Zombie Island, which is Ghost, Alien Invaders, and Scientist. I believe there's like one more before this one.
Yes, I don't know off the top of my head what that one is.
Yeah, I can't.
Goblin King? Maybe?
No, it's not the Goblin. No, it's not the Goblin King.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll put it up when I remember what it is. So but I said this is the first of the What's New Scooby-Doo, and that was What's New was it was new when I was a kid. probably the first incarnation of Scooby-Doo I watched.
Really?
Yeah.
I do have vivid memories of watching it.
Yeah, obviously I watched the original series a lot because it was on Boomerang all the time.
All the time.
But What's New Scooby-Doo was the new thing, so they were
Yeah.
pushing it hard. So I actively remember watching a lot of the show, but for some reason I just never quite got around to the movies as much.
The movies, yeah.
Interesting, I have heard the theme song for What's New Scooby-Doo live.
You have.
I've seen Simple Plan, supporting Bone for Soup, and they played it and the crowd went nuts.
I can
'Cause
imagine it would be.
that theme song
sick.
absolutely slaps.
It does.
What's the Scooby-Doo? We're coming after you. You're gonna solve that mystery.
It really does. Also, the gang are wearing their What's New Scooby-Doo outfits
Yeah.
in this movie, which is always fun. This one is just like, it's a very simple one. I probably, as we know, it's very predictable.
Yeah.
Or at least partly predictable. But yeah, it's I did really like the ending as well. Like the ever elusive Nessie is still out there, and
I like how I'm slowly filling in my gap because this era, like from Cyber Chase up until even recently, was quite. I hadn't watched a lot apart from the occasional live action one.
Yeah.
So obviously we filled it in with Camp Scare in 2010. Really, really liked it. Now we're filled in. Right, we've got 2004 here, but they're releasing like 2 a year, so I've got a lot I need to fill
catch
in.
up on. Yeah, and obviously I know we talked about it Cyber Chase video, but that's not our favorite.
No,
That one. So this one, which I don't know, like
I actually had a lot more fun watching this than I did Cyber Chase.
Yeah, I think I do actually too.
Because like Cyber Chase, I get enjoyment out of it, but it grates on me a bit.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, I was like, I think a lot of it is down to like seeing the gang in a different scenario that I just really, really
Scotland.
enjoyed. Yeah, in Scotland. So I would happily watch again. We couldn't actually get a hold of it for this one, so we've just done a scatter
Of all our merch.
of all our merch.
Yeah. Also, we had a birthday very recently.
yeah,
so
it was,
there's
it was
a
my
lot-
birthday yesterday, so we got balloons around. This is basically my birthday video.
Yeah.
So, do you got any more notes on this one?
No, there's very little notes I've actually made, to be honest, for this. It was more just about really appreciate the spooky and the gothic ambience. Obviously, just setting anything in Scotland will kind of do that.
It's going to be grey and it's going to be wet, and that's just what the UK is like.
Yeah.
And creepy castles. We love. What's
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo about creepy castle?
Oh, I will say just one little thing. There was another character in it he plays the dockmaster, and I think he's called Duncan McGovern.
Duncan McGovern.
Which, by the way, when you have a bad head cold, is like really hard to say. Duncan McGovern. But I do wonder if he was modelled after, the actor Marty Feldman
Yeah,
from Young Frankenstein.
maybe.
If you just kind of do like a side-by-side comparison, if you've got the time to do it. But I do wonder if he was maybe modelled after him. Like, physically, there is a very strong resemblance.
Yeah.
So that was just a random little observation that I found.
Duncan McGovern.
Don't make me say it again.
Duncan. It sounds like a donut company.
It does. Duncan
McGovern.
McGovern.
On that note, so are we done with the Loch Ness Monster?
We're done.
It's a good time. I honestly track it down. Like it's harmless. It's just
It's just Scooby-Doo.
it's classic Scooby-Doo. It's just enjoyable. For us, it was nice. It's also nice going back to like Casey Kasem because obviously he didn't return for those 4 movies.
Yeah.
And because of disagreements over, I think he'd gone vegan at the time and he wanted the character to be vegan.
That was a whole
So
thing.
You'd already made the character veggie, but obviously they made some compromise and he did come back.
You know what is kind of sad? Was my final comment. What's New Scooby-Doo still feels like the new iteration of Scooby-Doo.
Oh god, yeah, it's like 20 years old.
To me, like, it's What's New Scooby-Doo is like the latest incarnation. It still feels like the latest stuff, which is
Well, even like the most recent show I've watched was we watched an episode 2 of Mystery Incorporated.
yeah.
That's not new either.
Fuck me.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. Well, like I
guys.
said, beckoning in the new year, we will probably have we're recording a couple today, so we'll have a couple of weeks of
This.
The Voice.
Yeah.
But you're powering through.
Powering through.
Powering through. If you've got a free evening and you just fancy a Scooby-Doo watch, add this one onto your list. It's a good time. I think it actually got recommended to us a couple of times from a few different people
Yeah, it did.
who just have a lot of fun with it, and I did. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
So, thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.